Everyone again from the Tabernacle of David, Prophetic Dance Center in Jerusalem. I want to talk about something that is so grievous to my heart, and I believe that it truly breaks God's heart. I think a major downfall of many churches is that people get saved, which is glorious, and they come into the church, and over time they take on behaviors that they are, whether it's directly communicated or indirectly communicated, of how they are to act, how they are to behave as a good Christian or believer. The thing that grieves my heart, and I believe it breaks the Father's heart, is that we have totally neglected our emotional heart where Yeshua lives. Our soul has been saved. But He, the Spirit of the living God, lives in our heart. So the most important thing to God is not ministry. It's ministry, His heart to our heart, and ours heart to His heart. It's that relationship. That is primary. And so now we're in a position, because we have God living in our heart, for Him to heal our hearts. And it breaks my heart. I was just thinking about it. People get saved. They're taught how they are to behave. They come into idol worship. They've exchanged one sin for the other. Now the sin is, let's say they've got delivered from an addiction, for example. And now the sin is, what does my neighbor think about me? It's idol worship, because when your focus is on what does my neighbor think about me, my reputation with man, when that becomes more important than what does God think about me, that is idol worship. The Word of God says anything that we put above God is absolutely idol worship, and that is a sin. So stop neglecting our hearts and allow God to come in, invite Him in to heal those broken waste places, so to speak, to heal our hearts so our compassion is real, our mercy is real, our empathy is real, it's genuine. Wow, then we can really minister to people, because we have received healing. Let's face it, wherever our limitation is, not only are we limited in ourselves, well, that means we can't extend that to anybody else. Yeah, it's just such a fire that I have in me. And I grew up in the synagogue, but I've been in the church about 32 years. And that's long enough to have been affected by this. I feel in the world in some ways is much more advanced in that people are dealing with their hearts. People go to counseling. They do what they need to do. You know, you can go to a biblical counselor. You can receive biblical healing. There's plenty of biblical healing programs for you to get set free in Yeshua. Yeshua is the beginning. He's the beginning of the emotional healing process. Without Him, we can't do it. We're completely limited. We can't forgive ourselves or anybody else the deep devastations of our heart without knowing the love of God deep in our hearts. I don't mean here, but it's got to drop down, gulp, and we got to really know the love of God in our hearts. So let's see what's going on in our hearts today. Are we connected to our hearts? And if we're not, let's stop and go to Yeshua and say, Lord, please come and heal these wounded, devastated, waste places. Heal my heart. Jeremiah says, heal me, O Lord, and I will be healed. God bless you from the city of the great King, Jerusalem.